Steamforged showcase, and today we are going to be joined by the CEO and co-founder Rich Loxam, Richard August, the RPG writer, and Russ Charles, lead sculptor. And also, hey, special hint, we get a surprise guest at the end of this. Ooh, well, hello, welcome. How are you all today, folks? I hear you're calling in from a different whole different area across the sea, across the pond, as they would.
Yeah, the sunny UK or rainy UK, as is at the moment. Yeah.
I'm in rainy Seattle, so it all works out in the end. So what we're here for is to talk about some really epic encounters, as you would say. So if you want to be hyped up, we are going to be talking first about the Swamp of Hydra, which is going to be released on January 2021. Am I correct? And this is an adventure box for D&D 5th edition and or any other systems. So here's a question. So when you are designing these games, especially for Swamp of Hydra, how do they actually play for people? Is it just something that you can like port into your regular game, or is this just like a one-off?
Yeah, Epic Encounters is definitely designed to be something you can just drop straight into a game, straight into a campaign. It can be the thing you pick out for an evening, or it can be something you build up to after a couple of sessions of play. It's designed to be whatever a GM needs it to be. Whenever you want, as a GM, to go for something big and something dangerous and to test your players, you pick up one of these boxes, you drop it in, you're good to go.
Right. It seems like that. Yeah. If that's that easy, is there any like for those DMs who are like, ooh, yes, epic encounters. I want all of these things because I want a giant Hydra to play with. So for these, is there like an appropriate level for the adventures that you want them to be? Like, I don't know if you want to just be like, haha, first level characters, I sacrifice you to the Hydra.
Well, I mean, what we've been very careful to do with the Epic Encounters is to make sure that, yeah, if you're a first level party, you should get to face a Hydra. Now, admittedly, you don't want to face the full-on Hydra because it will destroy you and everybody will cry and it will be very, very sad and the game will be over. But you should still get to face a Hydra. So if you pick up an Epic Encounters box, you get 3 tiers of play in each box. So the Hydra is statted out for low tier, which is kind of somewhere between 1st and 4th level. Then you've got 5th to sort of 10th level, and then 10 and up. Depending on what you need as a GM, what level your party are, you can take these boxes and you can use them for whatever you need, however you want to.
Yeah, the boxes themselves can be used on their own, or they can be mixed together as well. So, I mean, the Hydra, I've actually got one here, so there we go on the shelf. Huge, big mini. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so putting them together is a really nice way of doing it. So, if you've got the images probably on screen now, coming up, you'll see that you get the components that come with it as well, out of this box. We really wanted to create an experience that isn't just kind of a bunch of minis. You actually get the board to play with, the map as well. You get all the encounters, like Richard said, as well, and all the stages of that. And it really can be someone who's, brand new to the game. We know how popular RPGs are at the moment. And this product for us was a way of celebrating that world because, we absolutely love RPGs at Steamforged, big fans. And these products really do kind of do pretty much everything. Like Richard said, it's intro products, it's experienced DMs, it's the works. So.
Oh yeah. So when you're talking about incorporating anything, how is it incorporating the various different elements of environment? Because it's not just, like you said, it's not just a basic map, it's not just mini figurines. How do you detail the terrain, I guess, for this type of game?
Oh, well, I basically, sit around thinking about where a Hydra is going to be, what it's going to look like, how a Hydra is going to adapt to its terrain, or how a dragon's going to make its cave work for it, or how a frost giant is going to, carve out its caverns, and work to create something dynamic and that both the players can interact with in an interesting way, and that the GM can use to pose constant new challenges and inspire the players to act in new and interesting ways.
I think the team's done a really good job with each of the epic encounter sets of creating that world. So when you look at the kobolds and the dragon and the frost giant and the orcs, it just really straight away, when you think of those settings, they really capture that idea in your head straight away, and that visual impact, I think it's really powerful. So we've seen a lot of people that pick the set up and they go, orcs riding bears. It's like, yeah, it's a big winter setting. It makes total sense, So it's just crazy, but awesome at the same time. And that whole title of Epic Encounters is there for a reason. These are epic sets that really pull out that creativity.
And you don't just have a Swamp of Hydra. You also have a Village of Goblin Chiefs, if I'm correct, right? That's also being released in January. And like, can you tell me more about the Village of Goblin Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, so all epic encounters come as a pair. Basically, you have the minion box and you have the boss box. And with the Hydra box, the minion box is like you say, the Village of the Goblin Chief, which is a really exciting and weird, genuinely weird adventure, which kind of like, so there's a lot of Wicker Man vibe that I tried to put into that adventure. So, you make your way through a treetop goblin village, you go into a hollowed out tree. There is a flail snail, but a slightly different and weird flail snail. There's goblins who have maybe spent too long chewing on frogs, and that's driven them over the edge, and they are a bit they are berserk. There's a lot of stuff going on in that adventure. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it does. Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the cool thing about it is as well, when you think of goblins, I think the ones we've created are very different than the normal goblins you feel. The forest setting has really kind of set them apart from the usual kind of setting you see in the goblins and orcs usually in. So I think that's going to create quite a nice kind of world for people that maybe have a set of goblins already, but they're looking for something a little bit different.
Now, when we talk about goblins, I want to go ahead and ask you, this might be a controversial question, but do you have a favorite goblin character in this goblin mini encounter or minion encounter?
The sculpting team are a bunch of sexy geniuses. I've said that before. So all the minis in there are amazing. The goblins mounted on tree frogs are amazing. But I am going to go with the Goblin Chief, the Hetman, who has this amazing mask and is genuinely he's really sinister, which, given the kind of fun found in the rest of the box, is no mean feat to have captured. It's an impressively weird and creepy mini. I
think you mentioned mine, which is the Tree Frog Riders. They're just absolutely awesome. The image of these tree frogs just leaping through the forest terrain, and that is just epic. Like, see goblins on the back of them, and the terror that would ensue in people is going to be just a bit epic.
Well, I mean, so for these, like, you also have some secret stuff in behind that you're going to be broadcasting too, because you got Swamp of the Hydra, Village of the Goblin Chief, and also you have I feel like something slithering in, maybe a temple.
We might have a temple with a slivery thing. I think we might have a sneaky trailer as well that might be able to play.
Oh, a sneaky trailer that we could watch. All right, let's go ahead and see Temple of the Snake Gods. Okay, so one, musical score. All right. I don't even know if you can see in chat right now, but everyone's like, yeah, hype, hype. Oh my God. Throw goblins at me, throw snakes at me, please. Throw the Hydra, please. So for this encounter, is there any like significant like themes you wanted to go with in terms of environment for this snake god? I mean, can you share with us any tidbits?
Yeah, you can do a little bit, Richard. Yeah.
Okay. So two things that I love very, very much. One is Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the greatest film ever made, and the temple is very influenced by the opening sequence of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then there's also a lot of Celtic mysticism in there as well, which is something I'm very interested in, and something we wanted to bring in, because I think basically we wanted to take snakes, giant snakes, and do something maybe that people haven't seen before, something a little bit weird, something a little bit unusual, and something that that you would wear a fedora and have a bullwhip for.
I love the thought of that. But yeah, no. And then what time zone? I think around you're guessing around summer 2021 is what we were looking at for the time frame for here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, they're coming out in summer, so it's the next big release after the Goblins, which are out now. Check your local game store or Steamforged for them. All right.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, the two games that we were talking about earlier, Swamp of the Hydra and Village of the Goblin Chiefs, are both released right now. And these are D&D 5th edition and any other systems that you can incorporate into your games. The Swamp of a Hydra is retailed for about $39.95. Village of the Goblin Chief is about $49.95. And so you guys can go ahead and get that now. It's already released, and have these epic encounters, as they will. So we still have a lot of things that you are bringing to us, because Steamforged isn't just one epic encounter. There are many multiple things. So we're gonna go ahead and change up a bit of our lineup, and we're gonna be talking about to get all of the animal lovers' hearts aflame going. We're gonna be talking about Animal Venture, Secret Grove of the Gullet Cove. Gullet Cove. Sorry, I was trying to go for a thing. Welcome back, Russ. How are you doing? Did you like the ethereal universe where we shun you to?
It was lovely. I'm just chilling up here. It's brilliant.
All right, so what we're going to be talking about, if folks don't know, this game is going to be released March 26th. It's called Animal Adventures: Secret of the Gullet Cove. I actually did a little bit when it was in Kickstarter. I was like, ooh, I love these things, because I'm kind of stereotypical in some ways. When you could be an animal, I'm like, yes, let me be animal. So this is a 2 to 5 player game. Can you tell us a little bit of like the setting and what players are going to be coming up against?
I absolutely can. So Animal Adventures is sort of the extension of Dungeons and Doggies as it all began a few years ago when we came up with this crazy idea. And so the setting is basically it's 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons compatible, and it lets you play as cats and as dogs, as heroes, because we felt that man's best friends deserve their own stories and own chances to be heroic, just like everybody else. Gullet Cove is a combination of a source book and a campaign guide, introducing this mysterious sea town where the animals live with all of the other classic D&D adventuring races, but there's a lot of sinister and mysterious stuff going on just below the surface of the town and down its hidden secret streets. So it's a very mystery driven but fun little campaign setting. We're very excited for all of the potential that it's got, and it's really found a community that have responded really positively to it. So super excited to get this into people's hands and let them explore the streets of Gullet Cove like we've been doing for the last year or so.
Oh, very, very cool. For this, like, can you also give us a little bit of taste of maybe like one of the adventures that people might go on as these animal creatures exploring Gullet Cove?
Yeah, I mean, well, in fact, if I carefully move some things around on my desk, I have the book. I have it right here. So I don't think this is going to show up to everyone on camera, sadly. But at the back of the Gullet Cove book, we've got 5 adventures, and Richard was responsible for planning these out. And what he's done is he's created a set of 5 adventures that are thematically linked, so you can play them as a campaign, or you can use them as one-shots. And within the adventures, you're going to explore the streets and slowly get involved in investigating the mysterious activity of the Rat King and his minions, who are operating below the surface of the city in the secret passages, secret sewers, and trying to complete all sorts of nefarious goals, which I don't want to spoil. But what I will do is just quickly, if this will show up on camera, one of the minions of the Rat King is this creature. This is one of the creatures you'll face. This is the Rataclysm. He is the most terrifying of the Rat King's creations, but there's much, much more going on just below the surface. We're really trying to write adventures that would be, we like to say that the setting is fun, but the peril is real, is how we try and sort of put it.
All right. So I guess what everyone's question is, in this is, both of you can answer this, is how, like, so assuming that you have these characters, you love playing as these dogs, how portable is it to like just have, if your other campaign, instead of just having the characters in this source book, how easy is it to port it over into an actual like a long campaign, just to have like, I want a dog paladin, I want my race to be dog, please let me have dog paladin. So if you have a cool GM to do that, is it very portable too?
Absolutely, it is. I mean, that was right from day one. We always intended this to be something that any person could drop into an existing campaign, whether you just want to use just the character creation rules and have 1 or 2 dogs and cats wandering about, or if you want the entire campaign setting and all of the magic items that we've got in there. It's all designed so you can launch a campaign fresh, you can drop it into an existing campaign. And one of the great things that we've been able to do is, since the original Dungeons and Doggies, we've had an opportunity to get feedback from our community and our players, revisit the rules, clean them up, make sure that they work even more effectively with a wider campaign. So yeah, any campaign you can play this. So cats and dogs exploring Castle Ravenloft, or going up against Strahd. Why not? Let's do it. What could be more fun than facing down a vampire with a chihuahua?
I mean, yeah, Strahd versus the chihuahua is always going to win.
That's where my money's going.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you wouldn't miss with chihuahua. Those things are just like little tiny demons already. So, I mean, here's the hard-hitting question. If you're going to make a character for this campaign, what animal would you actually choose?
Me, myself?
Yeah.
Well, this is actually an easy question for me, because there is a character in here, Montague the Bard, who is based on my Cocker Spaniel, Monty. So I would 100% play as Monty. Most of the dogs and cats that we featured are either pets of friends, family, and Steamforged staff members, or as time goes on, where members of our community have told us stories about support animals or animals that have come through illnesses or injuries and have pulled through and been real heroes. We've taken the opportunity to take those stories and turn them into the character designs and turn them into the character stories that we've used to really sort of celebrate everything positive that dogs and cats bring to people's lives.
I mean, Russ, he says Monty, but there is also a lugubrious bard dog that he's played in an online game, which you can find on our website. And Russ, I think you should talk in that voice for the rest.
I'm not doing Bartholomew's voice because
you're not doing
the interview.
I mean, I tried, people.
The interview would be such a long interview if I spoke as Bartholomew, because he needs about 10 seconds between every word.
You make it's an inarguable point.
Yeah. So then they just have to go to your website to actually see Bartholomew, right?
Absolutely. He's one of the heroes that comes with Gullet Cove. I mean, we've already got right now, if people wanted to take a look at the range, we've already got, I think, 3 different sets of dogs and 2 sets of cats already available. Gullet Cove, the book, when it comes out, gives you the up-to-date character creation rules, gives you the campaign setting, the adventures. We've got a whole host of more dogs and cats coming with that, as well as bad guys. We've got the Rat King and his rat minions. We've got the Necromastiff and his zombie cats and skeleton cats coming out. And then we have lots of exciting plans for, we want to keep playing in this world. It's too much fun as a playground for creativity to leave it alone. So we're going to keep on doing animal adventures as long as people want to see more.
And Russ has a scary gift for animal puns, and it has to be used. It has to be used for good.
I need to tell you later, Rich, about the boat-eating piranha called the scuttlefish that I came up with earlier today.
Russ Charles, everybody, the man is a pun-making machine.
Oh my goodness, all the dad jokes galore. I hope so as well.
It's my one core skill.
For this though, you could say what is your, like, for this, it's not just like for younger adults, it's for also older folks as well. What is the age range that you are in your dreams and wildest imaginations? What is the age range for this?
I think this is designed to be played by anybody. You know, one of the things that's glorious about it is it's so accessible for so many people. I've met fans that are older than me. I've met fans that haven't even hit double digits yet. We have a starter set that's an even simpler version of the 5e sort of rules mechanics, which makes it super accessible. It's a really good product for anyone who is excited about introducing new players or younger players. And certainly we've always kind of, you know, we like spoofing on Disney villains and things with our own campaigns. But we always sort of described it as, what if Pixar designed a fantasy game, in that it's open to anybody and it's got that bright, bright, colorful, accessible feel, but it can still deal with real themes. And like we say, the peril can still be real, and you can still feel like real heroes having real adventure. But we've tried to create a world that is open to and accessible to as many people as we can possibly make it. So I think it's for everyone. I really do. I mean, I may be biased, but
no, I'd be down. I'm 31 and I'd still be down to make dog animals and cat animals. So I'm just saying. For this, I wonder, can we, like, this is maybe if you're allowed to say, or maybe give us a little tidbit, can we expect more animal adventures in 2021?
Rich, what can I say? I mean, we'd be crazy not to, right? We've always, like, every single time we've done an Animal Adventures Kickstarter or released a new Animal Adventures product straight into the stores, the reception's been amazing. So we know that people love it. We have the most delightful community of people. They are the best humans you could possibly want to meet. And we want to keep giving them things that make them happy and bring them joy. And this is the year, I think, where it's safe to say we want to really step up what we're doing with the setting and open up some new horizons that we haven't touched on before, because there's a lot of animals out there in the world that aren't just cats and dogs.
Oh, that aren't just cats and dogs. Did you hear that? I like that. You're very nice and sneaky on that one. So I guess, like, so if you are wondering about more of the details about this particular game, it has been released, or it is going to be released, or wait, what month is it? It's January, February, March. It is March. No, it's past March. Oh, March 26th is when its release date. Sorry, I'm in pandemic time, so I'm kind of like, when's the date? What is time? It's 2 to 5 players. The box of dogs and cats are $22.95. This is all in USD. I'm sorry. I also realized that we have folks from the UK probably watching us and around the world. All the prices that I'm listing are US American dollar prices. I'm sorry, we don't have pound equivalent to translate to there. And it also, the source book is $39.95. It is a campaign setting for D&D 5th edition and also can be incorporated with any other source members, easily ported. And this is a game that where you play awakened dogs and cats in a seaside town called Gullet Cove. And thank you so much for like telling us all about this, and I love it. And oh, I wonder, would there be this is maybe like something that I'm just going to throw out there just as a fun question. Would there be a possibility to have a Kickstarter level where you could have your own animal or your own pet put into the world? Is it?
I don't get to make those decisions.
No.
Maybe. I mean, in the past, we've done competitions where we've included characters in the book as a result. We've done, like I say, we've picked community members, dogs and cats, who are particularly moving stories. So there are so many ways that we get inspired. I can see lots of routes that people can end up feeling part of this. So never say never, but.
Do you have an animal you're thinking of?
Oh, me. I do have 2 animals that I think of just because they are my little pets. But one is very stonic dog that was already old by the time he was a puppy. And the other one is a very nervous, sporadic, crazy dog. So these are just my own little kind of animals that I love myself, that I'm like, oh, I wonder how they would be as these various different characters. Because one is definitely like a cleric or a paladin. The other one is like a rogue who is skittish all the time. It's a 90-pound skittish dog. I don't know why. It acts like it's like, I'm a tiny thing, please protect me.
It's the most amazing question that every gamer is able to answer is, so what class is your pet? And everybody knows, you know, I have 2 Cocker Spaniels. One is the bard and the other one, she's definitely a barbarian.
Oh yeah, and then also we have a question, I guess right now, last question for chat. What animal do you guys want to see included? Just like, you know, hey, they're here. Look at we got the lead designer here talking along with the lead sculptor and stuff. You guys, this would be very nice to spam in what pets you would like to see. Maybe, you know, first-hand view, they can see it right now in chat.
Send them all in. We will definitely look, and the best ones I will use to make Russ's life a nightmare.
Oh.
Richard will write full NPC rules for every single
and then Russ will have to sculpt them all.
Wow, okay, so let me go ahead and just tell you what we got right now. We got wombat, turtle, dead animals. Apparently they want to resurrect their old dead pets, and then sheep, goose. Wow, they're just pigs. You know, there you go. We lit them.
Some of those crazy. Are animals we've definitely discussed. And some ones we definitely haven't.
Ferrets. Oh my goodness. All right, folks. Well, that is our animal adventure secret of Gullet Cove. We're going to be changing over to the last game that they're going to be hyping up in this chat. So are you ready? We're going to be switching over to clip, clip, boom, boom, to Monster Hunter World. Welcome. And we have our special guest coming in. Who is the special guest? It is Sherwin Matthews, lead designer of the Monster Hunter World. Hello, welcome to this. You were very secretive. How is it being in the secret corner?
All I can hear is disembodied voices kind of floating through the ether. Yeah, some stuff has passed before, but I have no idea what it is, clearly.
All right, and then this Monster Hunter World game is being kickstarted right now. It's a 1 to 4 player game. Many of the tiers that they have is a $70 entry tier and an all-in of $279. Can you go ahead and give us a little bit of what is the Monster Hunter world?
Yeah. So we got 3 tiers in total. So we got the base tier, the entry. We've got the core pledge of 140 as well, and the all-in, as you mentioned. And we've been working with Capcom now for about 2 years, just over 2 years in this IP behind the scenes. We are incredibly honored to work on such a title. The Monster Hunter series is just probably one of the best around at the moment from gameplay wise. We've got some serious hardcore fans here at Steamforged, Sherwin being one of them, and yeah, to be able to make the board game of it is just amazing. So, the Kickstarter, we're going to reveal today the launch date of the Kickstarter because we're doing the ramp up at the moment. So we've been very cautious on our details. So there's some exclusives coming your way, which is good in this segment. But yeah, Sherwin can go over some of the gameplay parts as well. So
cool. So Monster Hunter really. The biggest thing we try to do with the game is really make it evocative of what the core experience of playing the video game is. So we want players to really feel like they are out there searching through the wildspire wastes or the ancient forest, looking for these giant beasts and really hunting them down. So gameplay, as we've already said, obviously you play as part of a team of hunters. It's completely cooperative, and gameplay is really split into two main sections. The first one is you're out there really looking for tracks, using your scout flies to kind of find the way to where you actually might find these beasts in the various different locations. And obviously you have various different choices to make as you go. You can look to gather resources, which will obviously help you, enable you to make certain items or weapons or armor. Or alternatively, you can sort of continue the hunt and really sort of hunt down these chase down these monsters. And at some point, obviously, if these enemies find you or you find them, then basically you'll then port over into the sort of main combat arena as such, and that's where you'll actually fight the whatever enemy it is that you've been hunting down. Now, it's worth pointing out all of these happen on a time limit. So the more time you spend exploring, whether that be to look for tracks so you're better prepared for fighting the beast, or whether that's something where you spend more time gathering resources, you'll have less time to fight it. Or alternatively, of course, you can just race after it and then forego finding various different resources. Once the actual combat begins, everything has got very much one of the phrases we tend to use a lot at Steamforged in our design is combat puzzles. So the whole thing is built around this idea that there's lots of strategic layers of combat. So there's lots of positioning, there's lots of things with facing, for example. The way that hunters will attack is there's no dice involved in terms of the actual combat itself. It's a card-based system. And what you're doing is building together combos, putting down kind of various different chains of how you want to actually line up and how you want to do moves with sort of finishes and then obviously various different things, but they use the same stamina bar for dodging or blocking. So you can go ham and start really start attacking an enemy, but then discover you've got no way of staving off any retaliation if it comes after you.
Oh.
So
I've got a very big sample from the office that I managed to steal. So this is the box. It is absolutely massive.
That's huge. That's like at least 8 inches tall, right?
Yeah, they are big. So I have also got some of the minis as well. So we've got here we go. So get eyes of them. So yeah, they're really big, really big monsters that you get in this. So I think that was as Anjanath, and then we've got Great Jagras. We get it there. All the fans will be going mental now because they're I mean, Russ and the sculptor team done an incredible job of these models, and Toby Kakachi with his massive tail. I mean, we've got.
Oh my god, that's nice! You actually got all the. That's huge.
Thing there. So yeah, these are awesome. These are pre kind of samples from the factory, and we there's a little one as well because everyone can't leave home without the little Kuliaku, right? So we look like Stealing Man. So there he is. So we have a couple of small ones as well, but yeah, they are really stunning models. That really kind of capture the scale. It was really important when we sat down and looked at Monster Hunter of how to capture the scale, because when you play the video game, it is all about that mighty scale. When you first kind of appear, turn around the corner and you see, you know, the Andraff there or something that you just like, oh my God, how do I take this thing down? You know, I'm going to chase it down, hunt it. And that feeling, I think the design team have done an incredible job of replicating that. And I think as Steamforged, we really do concentrate on trying to bring the fundamentals of a computer game to the board game. You know, it's really important for us to break it down and build that battle core.
All right. And then I'm guessing because you have all of this level of detail, how many hours have you both put in to Monster Hunter is the question to put up to you.
I'm not as deep as the rest of the guys, but I mean, yeah, we've got some serious clocks on the hours. I mean, Sherwin's done some mega hours, but I think Alex in our team as well is he's over 1,000. Yeah, like
I wouldn't
over 2,000. Alex Hall over 2,000 hours.
Yeah, I've put in a lot, but I wouldn't want to get anywhere near close to Alex. I don't know how he has time to sleep.
I have to say, you know, I'm in awe when I talk to, you know, we talk to Capcom and, you know, their specialists as well. It's like I'm sat in the room just in awe of these guys that spend that long and you know, they know the ins and outs. And, you know, it's been really kind of, again, humbling to work on it along with these people that, you know, have that passion. They saw, you know, in Steamforged, we have the same kind of passion about this IP. You know, we really do live and breathe these games when we pick them, you know, so.
Yeah, I think, do we have time to go ahead and just, you have a trailer for us to see.
It's a world exclusive trailer. Anywhere. So yeah, you got the trailer and you got the launch date as well at the end of the trailer. So yeah, if we can cut to that, that'd be great.
Yeah, let's go ahead. All right. Yeah, you guys always hitting it with the musical scores and just hyping everything up. What the heck? Who's your videographer? Like, yeah, more hype. Get it in. Get it in.
Well, a lot of praise to Capcom there, because I mean, there's a lot in the audio, and that comes straight from the amazing work and the scores in the game. And you know, Russ and his team have done a great job of trying to translate that into the world as well. So it's been, yeah, I think Tom Lishman on our team did an incredible job at the visuals of getting that spin round. It's a nice little teaser. What's to come, April the 20th. I mean, the build up from now until then is going to be pretty big. So every week and every day nearly, there's going to be a lot of content coming. We've got the Facebook group that's just gone live, I think, yesterday. You can go and jump in on as well and get involved. And there's a whole kind of, if you've ever seen any other IPs like Barton we did, you know, we have a kind of a narrative drive up to the actual launch. So get involved and get liking it.
Yeah, you said like people can get involved, and with this, you know, with Kickstarter and everything. I have a little hint. A little birdie told me that you're giving away a pledge to a viewer.
Yeah.
And can you tell me what that is about and how they can enter?
Yeah, so there's a little go to steamforged.com. There's a full pledge there going to be given away to a viewer. So they watch this stream. I showed some monsters earlier, but I didn't show one that wasn't included. I think there's a question on there what that one was. So I'm sure people can work it out. It won't be too hard. But yeah, so take along, go on to the website and have a chance you look.
Ooh, so there you go. Enter into the website. You can get lucky, folks. Like I said, world premiere and everything. So now that this is coming out, is there any like favorite like aspect of the game that you were into, like via design, sculpting, or like just the gameplay, organizing the gameplay in general, that you guys really, really enjoy doing in terms of this creative process?
Sure.
I think all of it has been super fun to work on. Obviously, as we've just said, you know, we've got some huge super fans at SFG who really love just about everything about the world. But I think for me personally, one of the most entertaining parts I've done is a lot of the exploration stuff, which sounds really weird in a game that is ostensibly mostly built around these hunts and actually the combat sort of element of what, you know, fighting an enemy, a boss is, or a monster is. But I think I really enjoyed sort of writing a lot of the and going through a lot of the exploration sections, because a lot of that plays out like a really interesting choose your own adventure. You really get a feel for what you're going through in the different locations. So when you're tracking kind of let's say an Anjanath through the undergrowth, you really get a sense that I am actually in the ancient forest. I'm going through. I have meaningful decisions to make, how where I want to go and so on. And it's the attention to detail that a lot of our guys who are doing the development design for this really put into making sure that the locations are evocative, but also there's not only there's meaningful decisions there, but it also means that it's not just a case of, oh, I'll hit the fast forward button and zip straight through to the actual monster fight where the main where the main gameplay is. Even something that some players who are more veterans might kind of think is a relatively small part of what the game is. There's loads of lavish detail there. There's loads to see. There's loads to experience, and I think that's one of the things that I've enjoyed the most. I should probably at this point jump in and say something some of the other guys, because I know something that they worked on really hard is the part about breaking certain parts of monsters so you can get extra resources from doing them. So players have a decision. Let's say again, we'll go back to the Anjanath. If you really want to get a part that requires the Anjanath's tail or something along those lines, you can attack that particular body part to break it off, and therefore be able to get better resources for your weapons or armor or whatever. And I know that was a big part that Alex, especially one of our designers, sort of really focused in on to make sure we had the right resources and the right mix of things and the right mix of enemies to go with this. So definitely.
I think from my point of view, like when I saw the miniatures, come into the office and that, because I mean, it's such a different game than a lot of the board games out there because of the scale, and I think, seeing this range of miniatures that are just, they're so incredibly accurate to the source material. Like it's staggering how well the sculptors have done on this. So, obviously the SSG soldiers, but I do genuinely say, believe that these are some of the best sculpts you'll see, compared to the actual original content. And, we'd be very, very pleased and to get those kind of sign off on those things and get those things to the stage where they are. So I think that's going to really bowl people over when they start seeing these things. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have another one additional question, if you don't mind me asking, is how easy of a time would it be for people who aren't necessarily familiar with Monster Hunter, but like the aspect of beating up huge gigantic model, because there are people, it's like people who really like watching Godzilla and Jaegers, I want to punch things that are really, really big. How easy is it for those who don't necessarily know the IP to pick up the game and are new to as a little Monster Hunty baby, little newbie?
So one of the things we always try to do with all of our games is make them accessible to a really large audience. We know that there are going to be some people who play this game who are board game fans, some people who are fans of the IP, some people who don't, who may have just, as you say, really like the idea of hunting down these huge monsters and really like the visuals and so on. And one of the things we've always really tried to do is make our games as accessible as possible for as many people within that bandwidth. So. And one of the things we've been getting really steadily, I think, improving with our design is tutorializing how to learn and play our games as you go along. So we're very good at hand-holding players at the early steps to kind of really build up their experience if they're not veteran board gamers, or alternatively just put them so they're not on a steep learning curve. If you're someone who has no experience of Monster Hunter, I'm very, very sure, I'm very confident that you'll be able to get really a great feel for what the world is and really sort of throw yourself into it very, very quickly this way and really kind of begin to immerse yourself. And if you're a veteran, of course, I think there'll be the same thing. You'll notice smaller other things. There'll be small nods that you might pick up on and go, that's very evocative of the world I know or I'm familiar with. There's lots of stuff like that we've kind of tried to build in. So I think both sets of fans will really enjoy this.
Right. Very, very awesome. Well, folks, that was all the various games we went ahead and talked about. And just as an overview for all the Steamforged goodness that you have witnessed here upon the spring showcase, we talked about epic encounters, Swamp of Hydra, Village of the Goblin Chief, along with the sneak peek of Temple of the Snake Gods. You also got introduced to Animal Adventures, Secret of the Gullet Cove. I'm sorry, I stutter a bit. And that is all the good boys and good girlsies of cats and doggos and being adventurers in that sense. We also got a huge intro and world premiere that is going to be April 20th, Monster Hunter's World board game that you can see. And thank you so much to everyone for coming in and watching us here on the Gen Con TV. Also, thank you, Rich Loxam, also Rich August, and Russ Charles, and of course our secret guest, Sherwin Matthews. Thank you guys so much for staying up. I know it's late in your neck of the woods. So yeah, thank you so much for being here and being so charming and excellent and being hyped about the games that you make. So folks, hey, you know what? Stick around because we have the ship shape and ancestry from Calliope, sorry, words. Calliope Games, hosted by Paula Deming. More information on the Gen Con Spring Showcase can be found on our website at GenConSpringShowcase.com. And if you want to join the conversation and mix with your other fellow Gen Con fans, we also have a Discord. I hope you guys have a lovely evening. Thank you again for joining us, and Steam on and Steam Forge.
Thank you.